Judge Stormer has just been named the recipient of the Women of Achievement Award by the Women's Network of Northeast Ohio. She will administer the oath of office to Garry, who will take the oath on this family Bible.
I, Garry Moneypenny, upon my honor, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully, honestly, and impartially discharge the duties of the Mayor of Akron, that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and statutes of the State of Ohio, and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Akron. So help me God. This time I would like to ask all public safety officers, police and fire, active or retired, please stand. I want to thank the department managers and city employees who go to work every day trying to make life better for the people that live here in Akron. And my thanks to each member of Akron City Council who have worked collaboratively for a greater good.
We can start now.
Dr. Reverend Carl Wallace will be leading us in prayer. If I may restart. And my thanks to each member of City Council who have worked collaboratively for the greater good of Akron. The quickest way for this city to keep moving forward is that we all agree on June 1st tomorrow that it's a new slate and we all move forward together. It's also important for me today to thank Sharon and Paul Connor, Mike and Diana Harold, and Elaine Finney, who I didn't know before I came into Ward 10 and ran for City Council, but have become good friends who have supported me in every endeavor I've made to improve the lives of the residents of Ward 10. Thank you. A lot of you know me. You come to the ward meetings, or you've met me out publicly. You've met me when I've gone door to door. But some of you really don't probably know a whole lot about me, and I wanted to introduce myself here today and share with you a few things that I think make me tick. What are the values I hold and the lessons I've learned from my life in public service. From my days at Hatton Elementary School, I always knew I wanted to be a police officer. When I was going to hire junior high and Ellet High School, Akron police officer, he's deceased now, but his name was Dan Covey, worked off-duty at the McDonald's at East Market and Mogadow Road in Ellet. It wasn't the burgers and fries that drew me back there every day. I went back to hear Dan Covey's stories. He encouraged me and got me ride-alongs in the Akron Cruiser, and he helped me decide how I would spend the rest of my life. When I graduated from Ellet High School, my friend Rick Poling and I looked at careers in law enforcement, but we knew in the state of Ohio you couldn't be a police officer until you were 21. So we both at 18 and 19 joined the Army, enlisted in as military policemen. I served my tour at White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico. When we were discharged, Rick and I both signed up to be police officers in Springfield Township. Over the years, I did just about every job at the police department and rose through the ranks to become the chief of police. But I also wanted to serve the residents of my own neighborhood, where I lived in East Akron. And on Election Day 2001, on the September 11th, I was elected to represent Ward 10 on Akron City Council. I served until 2007 when Summit County Sheriff Drew Alexander asked me to come work for him as his chief deputy and his assistant sheriff. Drew wanted me to put into place for his department some of the community policing strategies I had found successful in Springfield Township. Thank you, Drew, for your trust and for the leadership skills you passed on to me. 4 years later, I returned to City Council, and in 2012, I was proud to be elected unanimously by my peers to be president of council. Earlier this month, Don Pasquale announced that he would retire June 1st. The Akron City Charter makes the council president his successor as mayor. This is not the first time I've been called upon to fill big shoes. When Sheriff Alexander asked me to replace Larry Givens, a man who was known as a policeman's policeman, a man who was a hero to much of the Akron police force and to the deputies in the sheriff's department. When I became president of city council, Marco Somerville, who I replaced, had been a presence on council for 26 years and a dominant presence as its leader for 12 years. And today, I'm prepared to fill the biggest shoes of all, to step into the mayor's office and follow a man who has been a force of change for 28 years. He had 3 decades filled with accomplishments. I'm grateful to Don Pasquale for what he has done for the city he loves and for his service to Akron, for his friendship, and for the confidence he has placed in me. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor Pasquale. Each of these 3 men have set the bar very high, but in each case, I've always tried to move the bar a little higher. In addition to being a police officer and a police chief, for 15 years, I was a principal hostage negotiator for the Metro SWAT team, which served 22 police departments in Summit and Portage County. Using what I had learned from the FBI Academy and Quantico, Virginia, and other trainings, there have been more than 60 occasions where I was on the phone or speaking on a bullhorn to individuals who either had a gun to their head, a gun to somebody else's head, or threatening to have a gun. Now that's a situation that really focuses your attention. But what I learned was that having a badge and a gun wasn't really the most important thing in that setting. The tools that were most useful were patience, kindness, and a little humility. Some people look upon these qualities as a weakness, but on every one of those 60 occasions, I was successful. And what these experiences taught me is the power of patience, kindness, and a little humility. These lessons serve me well in police work, and I carry them with me every day. And these same qualities, patience, kindness, and a little humility, will serve me well as the mayor of the city of Akron. In 2005, I really had to be patient when the Akron School Board told me they were closing East High School. I pleaded with the board to keep East High open, and humility was forced upon me when one school board member patted me on the shoulder and said, "Garry, you're not going to win this one." I hope I was kind to that person. Boy, was I angry. This is a high school in the middle of the neighborhood. Most of the kids in the East Akron area walk to school here. School board members argued that closing East would save dollars and cents, but it wasn't common sense. I had to think outside the box to come up with a better idea. Let's combine Goodyear Junior High and East High School into one campus. It hadn't been done before in Akron, but this would save money, and this would keep a community institution intact. I knew and listened to the residents of my ward and knew they wouldn't stand for this school to be closed. So I asked the board to come to East High School and explain the reasoning. On the night of that meeting, I came into this auditorium not knowing for sure how many people would show up. The place was packed. It was standing room only. And some people brought homemade signs with them. when the crowd started to chant, "Keep East High, keep East High," the members of the school board huddled in the back of the stage. I had been prepared with a speech to rile those people in the audience up even more. But thankfully, I was able to step forward and announce that the board had changed its mind. East High would remain open as a combined community learning center, the first in Akron history. I'm proud that this plan has not only been successful, but it has been repeated at Bookdale and will probably be a model for Garfield as well. On the night of that meeting, Councilman at Large Jeff Fusco, some residents of Ward 10, and I celebrated a great victory for this neighborhood. As a result, I was proud to be the first non-graduate of East to be inducted into East High School's Hall of Fame who was not a teacher. I keep calling Ella and ask them about their Hall of Fame. They won't return my call. Now I'm going to do something dangerous because they tell you never go off script. I'm going to go off script here for a second. When this all happened, Mayor Pasquale announced, all these advisors and cabinet members, rightfully so, sat me down and said, "Hey, well, listen, there's going to have to be a swearing in." And I pictured something in council chambers, what is it, something kind of private. And they said, "Oh, no, you're the first mayor in 28 years, new mayor in 28 years, and it's got to be a little bit of a bigger event." And they mentioned downtown. And I said, "No, I want to hold it in East Akron." And they said, "Oh, no, you got to have it downtown." And I said, "Well, it was East Akron. They kept re-electing me back to office. Even after I left and I came back, they kept re-electing me. And they're the reason I'm in the position I'm in." And they said, "Oh, no, it's got to be the Civic. It's got to be the John S. Knight Center. It's got to be somewhere like that." I said, "No. I want to be loyal to the people that were, re-elected me." I said, "I don't want it at John S. Knight. I want it at East High School, the high school that we saved out there." Again, they said no. And I said, "Well, listen, I'm not going to fight you on this. It's going to happen." Then they made the comment, "You're starting to sound like Pasquale." Well, I'll tell you this. If fighting for the rights of residents, trying to be loyal to the people that were loyal to me, to try to bring this here so I could hold it in the area where the people stood shoulder to shoulder with me to fight to keep this school over, sounds like Pasquale. I'll take that comparison. I'll go back to script. This is the second lesson that I carry with me. The power of ordinary people working together, collaborating on an issue that's really bigger than each one of them, can be the biggest force for change. I will never forget that people I represent have the real power of government in their hands. I know the importance of our neighborhoods. Since 2012, I have aggressively pursued the demolition of 155 properties in Ward 10 alone. An abandoned house is a thief that steals the value of neighboring properties. I know firsthand how high weeds jump